So 5 days later, after he basically told her she can come live with him, he said she had her own room and everything. And then 5 days after she got there, they went to the Infinity dealership. Remember Infinity, we was talking about there earlier, where this is where she a man from the Infinity dealership was who she was dealing with. He said he knows that she told people that she had nowhere else to go, that she was broke. Like, I don't understand why this kind of conversation is coming up at the Infinity dealership. Well, I mean, if you say you're going to Infinity dealership, you're going to look at cars. Why are we talking about her being broke and nowhere else to go? And it sounds like, again, he's jumping all over the place with his story. That's what it sounds like. She had no money. She had just got out of an abusive relationship. It was the homeless shelters, which was too dangerous for her child, or sleep in the car.
Yes.
Okay, so when he's telling this story about her letting people know she was broke, she didn't have any money, this happened before the dealership, but his story is jumping around. He mentions the Infinity dealership first, and then he talks about her saying that she was telling people she was poor and had no money. And that conversation actually happened before they went to the Infinity dealership. So he's, like I said, he's jumping around his story, trying to make the pieces fit. He said, the father said his best friend worked at the facility. We're talking about the Infinity dealership here. The father said that Chantel took out $25,000 in cash.
Wow.
He said in the video you can hear the cash machine going on in the background. What fucking cash machine is giving you 25 grand? So he said she's signing her documents with this stack of money right here in front of her. And she's paying for the BMW 4 Series in cash. But the father is saying, when you got to my house, you had this much money in your pocket, cash. So why you telling people that you don't have no money? That's what the father is saying. Interesting. He said he always has been for every child. So, but how can you say that though, that you were like that for every child? I thought you said that you didn't have a relationship with one of your children. That the mother kept moving from place to place and you got tired of chasing her. He basically is painting a picture that she wasn't being responsible. That she was very irresponsible. This is the picture that he's painting. And she went to the club and spent $2 grand to sit in the VIP section so she can ball out. She was wilding out. She was affiliated with some heart rappers. Heart rappers? He said that they was hitting her up on Instagram and would tell her to come here and she would go there. And she partying with them and she's doing her thing and making her money. So does this mean that, hold on, like, wait a minute now. You done accuse this lady of being a prostitute. You done accuse this your daughter. I shouldn't say lady, your daughter of being a prostitute. You done accuse her of sleeping with all these type of people. You done accuse her of being an Instagram model. Now you're saying that she's being invited to these rappers' houses to get her money. What? What? Wait a minute. What kind of picture are you painting here of your daughter? Because the only person who can refute this is her. She can refute all of this shit, or she can answer questions about what he's saying so that you can figure out who's telling the truth here. He said that he's very active in all his kids' life. He's always been. How can you say that you've always been active in all your kids' life when you just told us that you wasn't in your other daughter's life until around the time that she was 15 because the mother kept moving? And what? I'm confused now. You see, this is what I'm saying. He done confused the hell out of me. He said that he has 13 baby mothers. And he said that none of them can tell you that he didn't provide amply for his children. But the thing is, it's one thing for you to support your child financially, okay? Because the courts have allowed this situation to happen by telling a man or the parent who does not have custody of the children that the way that they provide means or support is by being a financial grounding for the child. So this person is going to have the child, but you as the other parent are going to be responsible for financially supporting the child as your duty. So the courts have allowed this to happen where the parent that does not have custody has a financial obligation to the child. And as long as they're paying that money, the government can care less what other duties as a parent this person is doing. So when he says that he provided for his children, he may have had the means to financially support all of them. But he wasn't there for those kids mentally and emotionally if all he was doing was supporting them financially. Let's not get this confused. When you say raising a child takes more than money. Don't get that shit fucked up. Because raising a child takes more than money. I mean, he is standing on, he loved this conviction that he can take with knowing that he paid all his child support. Giving his kids all that he never had. You buying them everything. So what are you teaching the child? That my father provides, he get me anything that I want. Oh, can you sit down and talk to your father about things that concern you? Does your father talk to you every day? Is he mentally supportive of what you have going on in your life? He didn't say anything about that. The dad said that she was there, that Chantel was there for about 18 months until she tried to create some type of scheme where she attacked him in his home and hit him with a pot of hot grits. Unprovoked, he said. She had already called the police. Unprovoked, he made sure to throw that word out there. Had the police, had them on 911 and was trying to create a scene. What you mean had them on 911? You mean she had 911 on the phone during the situation? He's talking about what she did in the situation, but said that what he was doing was unprovoking. To have her throw a pot of hot grits on him. So he didn't do anything. This is the narrative he's spinning. He didn't do anything to deserve a pot of hot grits to be thrown on him. Oh my goodness. What are you trying to say, sir? So because the grandbaby told the police that her mommy hit her granddaddy, the father is saying that that's why the police took her to jail. He's saying that there was a man that helped her get out of jail. He said that she was trying to falsely accuse him of the same allegation. So the father is painting this picture on the daughter as if the allegations continue to follow her as she gets into situations. Every time she gets in a situation, she brings out this allegation on everybody around her. This is the narrative that he's spinning about his daughter. The way his fists are balled, he's holding his fist like this. Both hands. He's holding his fist like this. His thumbs are inside of his hands. And he is gripping his fucking fist so tight because I can see the muscles in his hand and one of his arms pulsating. So all I can say is, that's it. I've already said it. This is a sign of tension. There could even be some anger or frustration in there with him holding his hands like this. But this kind of makes me feel like he's closed off to any interpretation of what he's saying. He's not trying to say too much, but he wants to say enough that he paints the picture that he wants to paint. But this right here, why are your hands like this, sir? You're not relaxed. You're full of tension. Every time he goes to talk about these allegations on his daughter, his fists tighten. They're like this. He said at the same time, he loves her, but that's the first time I heard him say that he loves his daughter. And Tasha K says, what do you love about her? He said, at the end of the day, she's still my child. At the end of the day, she's my child. And this has been the hardest thing for me to do, to talk to you, to tell people anything about my daughter. And to me, he's coming off as someone who expects you to appreciate his gratitude, expects you to appreciate everything he's done for you. And if you don't, you're being ungrateful. He's saying that his daughter would have been locked up if it was not for him. There's a grandness and a greatness that it seems like this man needs you to understand with him. That's what I'm getting. If it wasn't for him. When he is talking a matter of fact about something, if it is something that he's willing to own, he's staring Tasha K in the eye every time he's doing it. He said that when she came to his house, he used his insurance, because he's got to point this out. He used his insurance to send her to therapy. So if you really wanted her, and this is my opinion, if he as a father really wanted her to be independent, why in the fuck did he do everything for her instead of giving her the tools to do it herself, giving her the resources to do it herself? Why are you doing everything for her? How are you making her independent if you solving all her problems? And then, because you feel like she is being ungrateful, you have a problem with her now. That's where the tension comes in. I'm confused here. Your job is not to take care of your kids for their entire life. Your job is to help your kids to become independent and responsible on their own. You show them the way. You give them the tools. You give them the resources. You let them get out there and get their feet dirty. But you don't do everything for them. Interesting. Very, very interesting. That's interesting to me. I just have a question. And he said that he paid for a therapist and we sent her to a therapist. So he paid for the therapist, but we sent her to the therapist. Who is we? Who is we sent her to the therapist? I'm confused about who we is. Who is we? We sent her to the therapist. Who is we? He keeps pointing out that those 5 cases that they brought against him were completely wiped out and you can't find them anywhere online. Why does he feel the need to keep stressing that? He keeps saying that. He said he had hearings on them. 4 criminal trials were erased from his history. That he don't, I don't like this. So he made reference to her saying that in her interview, she said that she wasn't sure who or excuse me, when she lost her virginity, and she doesn't know if she lost it to her brother or her father. And he's talking about that on here and says, that's something you don't forget, and licks his lips after that. I mean, he even got a dent, a small dent in his forehead when he's saying that, as if he's mad because she can't remember who she lost her virginity to. I'm not taking that statement that he just said as he's saying it like, why can't she remember? If it happened, how come she can't remember from who it happened from? I'm taking it as she's saying that she don't remember, and he's not happy about that because he doesn't know. Because she's saying she doesn't know. With the way he's licking his lip after saying that shit. He said that Leah's son, outside of their marriage, was on YouTube going in on Chantel. But see, what the other kids have to realize is it is not far-fetched for different treatment to be given to different children at all, even in the same house. There's going to be a tie to that child parent situation that one child is going to experience that the other children may not experience. 3 children out of all of them may experience, and the other ones don't. There is a way to get away with doing things to your children and outside of your children's view or what they understand. So he could have been doing different things to different children, and the other children would have no knowledge of it. That is very, 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 very what's the right word? That is very possible. That could very well happen. That's all I'm saying. You know, the father is talking about how this stepson was going in on Chantel and saying that he never did anything wrong to me. He never touched any of us. But you cannot attest to what you don't know and what you didn't see. You can't. Just because you didn't see it happen doesn't mean it did not happen. The same way it doesn't mean it did happen. Because if she's making these allegations against him, but there's somebody who can refute what she's saying within the timeline and the circumstances that she's saying it, that's a different thing. But if you can't refute the circumstances surrounding what she's saying because you were not there, she did not tell you, you did not see anything, it's his word against hers all day. Regardless if any of the other kids dealt with the same type of abuse as she did, it does not mean that she did not go through this. It doesn't mean she did. It is a situation where you have to look at the circumstances. You have to look at the people involved, listen to them, both sides, put together pieces so that you can get a picture. Where this picture is painting it more than likely that this happened, or less likely that this happened. Whether you were his child or not, whether you grew up with him or not, you can't say what happened to the other kids. Because what happened to her may not have happened with every other child, because there was something significant about this child. That's all I'm saying. He said it ain't even about him no more. It's about his kids now he got to walk in shame with this mess. So he keeps using that word shame. He doesn't feel the word guilt. Okay? It is shame that he feels. He's mentioning that word himself. Walk in shame, but this is the word he keeps using. He said that now she has put him in a position where he's got to defend his children, because now he's letting y'all know that the reason why he's addressing this now the way he is because it's out of defense of his children. Remember, he said he's always going to protect his children. So this says hero to me again. Okay? That's what this says. So in order for him to be the hero, the opponent has to be the villain. This man's fist balled. His fist is like this. His right fist is like this. His left fist is like this. Clenched tight as fuck. Like, I don't understand that. He hasn't been relaxed pretty much at all during this video. Why are you so tense? I can understand people saying, oh, he's tense because look at the allegations against him. That's a lot if you know you didn't do anything. But if you know that you didn't do anything, why are you giving this so much energy? Because that's energy still. The way you clenching your fist. Like the way he's sitting is though. And when he talks, I don't know how to explain it. He said that when she threw the pot, his back was facing her. So when she threw the pot, it hit her back. It hit his back as he was getting ready to let the dog out. And then the next thing you know, he felt something hot hit his back. He said he's making it seem like in the moment when she threw this pot and pan, she already had 911 on the phone. And so she's hollering and yelling and making a scene like he's attacking her. But she's the one doing all the foolishness. He said that Chantel, this just happened with the incident with the grits. This just happened a few months ago. He said that this just happened a few months ago. So it hasn't been that long. He said that when she made the video with the interviewer, she had just left his house because she sent herself to jail. They listened to what the children had to say, and they sided with the children. Do you know why they sided with the children? Because children gonna tell it. They're going to tell it. That's just it. They're going to tell it. Outside of the influence of their parents or guardians or whatever, they're going to tell it. They're going to talk. And if you got the children saying, each one of them in their own way is saying, this person did this person did this from each child, then yeah, I can see the police saying, okay, well, we got to take you. But it's interesting that they took the word of the children over the adults. Parents will go to great lengths to keep their kids separate from outside influence. There's a reason for that. Because children are going to tell the truth as long as that influence from the guardians is not there. Their authority, as long as that's not there. And they can be bribed. That's another thing. Kids can also be bribed, where they're not talking and then you bring them a piece of candy or some ice cream or something like that. They're spilling the beans. They're talking. Because kids are innocent. That's why. They're innocent. So I can see how the police took the start. If it happened this way, I can see how the police took the word of the children over the adults. And Tasha K follows up with, okay, and now she's out after she got arrested and went to jail. Now she's out on social media getting money for these stories. And the father is agreeing. He said, we're in a time where don't nobody want to go against a woman. So does that mean that it was a time where everybody was going against a woman? Or somebody was going against a woman? Because if you ask me, it's always been like that. Society is more likely to condemn the woman without proof rather than believe her. And now that we're at a time where so many people have the courage to speak and talk up and say, yes, this happened to me as well, you're going to tell me that there's something wrong with that? Because women are now getting that support that they couldn't get before? There's a problem with that. No, I think it's high time, and it's been past fucking time for people to start listening to women, especially black women. Because in our black culture, we are so quick to turn a motherfucking cheek. When I was coming up, that's exactly how it was. And like I said in the beginning, a lot of us went through that trauma and abuse in our own fucking families. And all they did was turn another fucking eye. Or they were blind to the situation. They were it was a delusion. They didn't want to believe it, so they chose not to. The fuck out of here. When a child is telling their mother, this is what happened to me, by the dude you're dealing with. Whether it's the father or the stepfather or the boyfriend. It could be the uncle, the granddad. This is happening to me. This is what happened to me. And then a mother who don't want to believe what's going on because it can be an inconvenience to her situation, turns the fucking blind eye to the situation. Like it's I don't give a fuck if you a mother and you doing that stupid ass shit. There should be a special place in fucking institutions for you, because you're not fit to be a parent. In my opinion, you just started a whole lifetime of problems for your child if you turn the other way when they need you, when they need your support. You turn the other fucking way for your own fucking convenience. Fuck out of here. I don't give a fuck. If you a parent and you like that, where you don't listen to your children and you don't ask them, you don't pay attention to your fucking kids, and shit like this happens 10, 20, 30 fucking years later, this person is still dealing with the aftermath behind this shit, when all they needed was somebody to support them. And a lot of times it's the parent. Nah, fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here with that shit. Man, first of all, for you to say that women come out here and they make these allegations that they were beaten, raped, and all this other shit, he gonna say, I guess all black men gotta be bad. Does that mean, I mean, what the fuck are you saying here? Do all black women gotta be lying because they're saying this shit? When we all know, majority of the time, when a black woman gets beat, she ain't even running to the cops to tell them shit. She already got the lesson early that if she open her mouth, ain't shit gonna fucking happen. Why would she go to the authorities and say any fucking thing? Are you kidding me? I guess all black men gotta be bad. No, all black men are not bad, but we do have black men that are bad. And it's just like the white men or the Asian men or the Spanish men that beat on their wives. One bad apple, and that's all it takes. And if you a father and you doing this fucking shit and you got sons coming up behind you, you are setting an example for them. If they see you or if you're doing it to them, what the fuck are you teaching them? Are you crazy? I hate when black men be like, all black men gotta be bad. Who the fuck said that? All black men are not bad. All black men are not fucking good. Just like all women are not good. All women are not fucking bad. But it's hard as hell for a black woman to be believed when they say they have been abused. And you gotta wonder, why is it so hard for her? Like 10 times fucking harder for her than it is for any other fucking race. I don't understand that. Why the fuck is that? Why? Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here.